It began in a quiet little town named Willow Creek, the kind of place where the church bell marked every hour and neighbors still waved across fences. For years, the town had one dream, a new school. The old one leaned like tired bones, its roof leaking each time the rain came down. But one morning, everything changed. The headline in the Willow Creek Gazette read, "State approves $2 million for new school construction." Inside the diner, forks froze midair. People cheered, hugged, cried. It was hope written in black ink. The mayor, Frank Dalton, stood at the counter and smiled for cameras. "We did this together," he said proudly. "The future of Willow Creek starts here." The town believed him. After all, Frank had been mayor for 12 years. Everyone trusted him, or thought they did. 3 months later, nothing had happened. No construction crews, no signs. The field behind the old school still sat empty, weeds whispering in the wind. "Maybe there's a delay," people said. "Government work takes time." But one person didn't believe in delays. Emily Rhodes, a local journalist in her early 30s, sharp-eyed and stubborn, the kind of woman who asked questions even when people didn't want them asked. She worked in a small newsroom above the hardware store. Dusty shelves, old computers, and a single buzzing fluorescent light. But she believed in stories that mattered. "It's been 3 months," she told her editor one morning. "Not a brick laid." "I want to know why," he sighed. "Emily, maybe let this one go. Frank Dalton's a good man. He's helped this town for years." She leaned forward. "Then he'll have nothing to hide." And that was the start of it. A truth no one wanted to find, and a lie too big to stay buried. Emily began at City Hall, a building that smelled of old coffee and paper, its walls lined with faded portraits of past mayors. The clerk, a kind man with round glasses, smiled. "Morning, Emily. What brings you here?" "Public records," she said. "The school grant files." "That's a tall order." "I've got time," she said with a grin. She spent hours flipping through stacks of forms, transfer slips, bank summaries, and contracts stamped confidential. Her eyes blurred from the fine print until one page stopped her cold. $2 million transferred from State Education Fund to Dalton Development, LLC. Her mouth went dry. "Dalton, that's the mayor's name." She flipped the next page, signed by Frank Dalton, Mayor. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears. Emily took photos, every page, every date, every signature. Then she sat there for a long time, staring at the wall. Could it be a mistake, or had the man her town trusted stolen from its children? That evening, she drove home through streets lined with golden trees. Porch lights glowed. Families laughed inside their homes. Willow Creek looked peaceful, almost too peaceful. She parked in front of her small house and whispered, "What if this destroys everything?" Her phone buzzed. It was her editor. "Find proof before you print," he said. "If you're wrong, you'll lose your job, and the town's trust." "If I'm right," she asked, "then you'll change everything." Emily closed her laptop, knowing tomorrow she'd walk a thin line between truth and danger. To be continued. In part 2, the truth comes to light, and the town learns that courage isn't about speaking loud, it's about standing firm. The next morning, the air in Willow Creek felt heavier. Clouds hung low, and the newspaper office buzzed with whispers. Emily sat at her desk, reading her notes again and again. Each number felt heavier than the last. $2 million meant for the children, sitting quietly in the mayor's private account. She took a deep breath and dialed the bank. "This is Emily Rhodes from the Gazette," she said. "I need to confirm whether the Willow Creek Elementary project ever received state funds." The accountant on the other end hesitated. "Hold, please." Minutes passed, long, tense minutes. Then his voice returned, soft and certain. "No deposits found, ma'am." Emily's stomach dropped. "Thank you," she whispered. Her hand trembled as she hung up. There was no mistake. The mayor had stolen from his own people. That evening, Emily called her editor. "It's confirmed," she said. "We have the documents, and the school never received a dime." "Then we run it," he replied. "Tomorrow morning." Front page sleep didn't come easy that night. Every creak of the house felt like doubt, but she knew the truth had to live in the open. The paper hit the stands before sunrise. Swapping the results, mayor accused of misusing school funds. By noon, the entire town was buzzing. The diner was silent, the grocery store tense. People read the paper, eyes wide with disbelief. That evening, an emergency town meeting filled the old gymnasium. The mayor stood at the front, sweating under the lights. "Friends," he said, "there's been a misunderstanding. The funds were temporarily redirected for zoning and planning." Emily rose from her seat, voice calm but firm. "Mayor Dalton, can you explain why those funds were transferred to your company, Dalton Development?" He froze. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. She held up a folder. "I have the signed documents. Bank records, dates, everything." The mayor's hand gripped the podium. His voice cracked. "You don't understand. It was only temporary." Someone shouted from the back, "Temporary theft?" Gasps filled the room, and in that moment, the lie that had ruled the town began to crumble. Within days, investigators arrived. Dalton resigned, then confessed. The funds were recovered, and the school project began that summer, the sound of construction echoing hope through the valley. Emily stood by the fence one morning, watching kids run through the half-built playground. A little girl waved at her. "Are you the lady who saved our school?" Emily smiled softly. "No, sweetheart. Your town did. I just reminded them what truth looks like." And so, Willow Creek rebuilt, not just a school, but its faith in honesty and in each other. Because sometimes, one person's courage becomes a community's strength. Morale. A community is strongest when it stands together for justice. Truth may shake the ground, but it always builds stronger foundations. Thank you for listening to Swapping the Results. If this story inspired you, please share it with someone who still believes in honesty and courage. Tell me in the comments. Would you speak out if it meant standing alone? Don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories filled with emotion, courage, and hope. Until next time, stand for what's right, even when it's not easy, because truth is the only thing worth building on. Add a final comment at the end and subscribe to the channel in a warm, friendly style.